Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Jennifer Capone and I have my sidekick Courtney on here. So we're going to kick things off. Thank you for joining us for our Tower Garden 101 event. So whether you are joining us live or watching the recording, you always could come back to us with any questions. And so how we're going to kick things off is I have Courtney is going to show us her gardens outside. So wait 1 second. I'm going to make you bigger. Okay, there we go. All right, so take it away, Courtney.
Okay. Hi. So I love talking about my tower gardens. I have been tower gardening for 8 years. This tower right here was my first tower that I purchased. And let's just start looking at it. So I have all these tomatoes down here. I mean, look at all those. Actually, these red ones need to be cut off. These are black cherry tomatoes. They're delicious. And there's a ton of them. And then these are Campari tomatoes. Aren't they cute? I did cut off these guys recently, so I brought them out here so I could show you. Yeah, they're really big. And then pepper, I'll show you the peppers up here. So here are the other peppers. They're going to turn that color, so you just have to wait for them, but so cool. I have another pepper plant too. Japanese eggplant. Wow. There's celery up here, a lot of celery. Guess I'm gonna have to juice that. And then this is broccoli. This is a newer broccoli plant, so there's no broccoli coming out yet. Bok choy. Let me see if I can get a better view of that. Basil. And I do have a lot of empty pots. And that is because I'm kind of in a transitional stage. A lot of my plants were finished, so I had to pull them out. Like here's spinach, and it doesn't look so good. And that's because of the heat. It's just too hot for it at this point. But when I was growing it during the winter, it was beautiful. So I think I'm going to I'm going to start some spinach on my indoor tower. But here is a broccoli that is mature. So isn't that cool? So fun. And yellow pear tomatoes down here. These are also delicious. They need to come off. I need to cut them off soon. But look at all those tomatoes down there. Can you see them, Jen? I mean, there's a ton of them. They're just growing like crazy. There's a whole bunch right there. And so, like I said, it's pretty empty though. All the other pots. Oh, I have chives right here. And those are growing really well. And then over here, I have a strawberry tower because I always wanted a tower garden full of strawberries. I just cut a whole bunch off. I couldn't leave them on any longer. I wanted to just for this purpose, but I couldn't. So I just have a couple right now. Aren't they cute? Oh, so cute. So super fun. Jen, what else?
So I guess that's it.
I could talk about it forever. I mean,
no, I know. And we're going to see Courtney again in a few minutes. She's going to show us her indoor garden. But after seeing hers, I'm going to be sharing some things. So I'm sure everyone watching probably has some questions. So I'm going to go through a lot of the common questions and talk a little bit more about how it works and what it costs. And then at the end, if you have any questions for Courtney or I, you can ask them at the end. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing, Courtney. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. Once it loads up. Okay. So welcome. So like I said, my name is Jennifer Capone, and this is Tower Gardening 101, gardening for every thumb. And I love to share this information because a lot of people think if they have killed everything before, they cannot own a tower garden. So I like to give the details and then let you decide, if it's something you think that's good for you and your family. So let's get growing. Okay, so what I would love is if you were joining us on this Zoom, just put in the comments where you are from and your favorite fruit or veggie. We just always love to welcome people when they're joining us. So here's a little bit more about me. And this is kind of why I became a health coach and that I started on this health journey. Oh gosh, this was almost 16 years ago. I cannot believe it. My husband and I were married, and I had an underlying health condition at the time that I did not know about until I had our son. So once I had our son, my autoimmune condition, I guess brought on by the stress of the pregnancy, came out, and I was diagnosed and put on medication, but I still didn't feel great. I still didn't know that diet and nutrition had anything to do with helping my situation. And at that time, in that photograph, my son was around 3 years old, and I was also not only suffering from my own, also from severe allergies. I was on 3 different medications, and also I was dealing with issues getting pregnant a second time because of my autoimmune condition. And that is when a dear friend shared with me an easy way to improve my nutrition. And about 3 months later, I became pregnant, not that pregnant, but I became pregnant, and that is me about 22 weeks pregnant at one of our health conferences. So I just truly believe, I just love sharing this information because you never know who might be struggling with a health condition or things that can be improved through diet. And they say that over 75% of like conditions can be improved by lifestyle and nutrition. So after, adding this nutrition through Juice Plus that we learned about through my son's doctor, we have no more allergies and breathe freely. We rarely visit the doctor, well visits only. We've significantly lowered our cholesterol, and my autoimmune condition is under control. And we, as you can see, had our daughter Sophia, who just turned 9. And I honestly have better energy and mood than I did in my 20s. I just have sustained energy throughout the day, and it's all because we're giving our bodies what they need. So what is Juice Plus? That is what we use to improve our nutrition. It's food, not a vitamin. It has a food label. There's no additives. It's vegan, kosher, dairy, gluten-free. It's just pure plant produce. It's NSF certified. That means a third party says that what is in it, because that is not regulated in a regular health food store. And number 3, which I think is the most important, is that it is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. So we actually have over 40 peer-reviewed published clinical studies right now. And if you'd like to know more about that, you could message the person that invited you to watch this, or you can reach out to Courtney or I, and we're happy to give you a sample or some information. So it was through Juice Plus, with the Juice Plus company, that I learned about the Tower Garden. So they not only help you get more micro macronutrition into your body, but help you grow your own food as well. And this is pretty much my life before the Tower Garden. So I was just kind of growing weeds. I had a desire to garden, but couldn't keep anything alive. I would forget to water my plants. Who is forgetful? Hello. And I had issues with pests. So that basically, that raised bed was basically red ants. And I overall had decided that gardening, it just was not for me in the Florida heat. Our soil is horrible. And with little ones, it was just too hard to keep up with. So this is my life now after the Tower Garden. Those are chives. Aren't they gorgeous? Some Swiss chard, some string beans, basil, like the size of your hand. So yes, pretty much I am a master gardener now. And that's me and my cutie pie, Sophie, when she was about, oh goodness, maybe she was like 4 years old there. So I'm just going to show you a video quick with the garden that Courtney will be showing us shortly, the Tower Garden home. I did not mean to stop that. I apologize. lighting did get a lot simpler and quicker too. So we like to say Tower Garden is the future of growing. You could grow produce on your patio or even indoors. These are the two different models that we have. I'm just going to move this box up here. So we have the Tower Garden Home and the Tower Garden Flex. The towers that Courtney was just showing you are all the Tower Garden Flex, the ones that she had outside. So both of the towers use 98% less water than you would for an in-ground garden. They take up 90% less space. However, they produce 30% more yield and grow 3 times faster than an in-ground garden. And of course, they're safe and nutritious. And those two studies of producing more yield and growing faster was a study that we did with the University of Mississippi, which we compared 8 different plants in a soil garden to the Tower Garden Flex. And that was what they saw across the 8 crops. So now I'm going to show you how it works. You can just see how quickly it grows in just 4 weeks.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your Tower Garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Okay, so that, just a cute little drawing to show you how it works from the inside, and you saw how quickly they grow on the outside. So another question people usually have is, what does your garden come with? So that picture right there shows you with either Tower Garden, you're going to get everything you need to get started. You can start plants from seed with the seed starter kit. You can see those little packets there that they send you. Or, we're happy to provide you with places to buy your own seedlings, and they will ship to you if there's not a place locally nearby to you. Usually I do a little bit of both. Right now, I just replanted a little bit on my garden. I'm using some of my own seeds. So it's always fun to see them sprout from seed. Okay, so now I'm going to compare the 2 different gardens for you. So this is the Tower Garden Flex. Again, that is the one that Courtney shared earlier. It has a 20-gallon base. It comes standard with 20 planting ports. So like those empty ports that Courtney was showing, you will have 20 of them on the standard Tower Garden Flex. However, there is an option. We do sell accessories where you can add another 8 ports, or you can add microgreens or a combination of ports and microgreens for a little accessory fee. Okay, so there's the Tower Garden Home. So the difference is that the Tower Garden Home, it's ideal for indoor use, but it can also be purchased without lights. So you could see the lights on that one. It looks very like, you know, like you went in the future, which I love. They're just so much fun. So I have a Tower Garden Home actually outside without lights. So you can have it indoors or outdoors. It is a more narrow design, so it's easily maneuvered between doorways and such. It does come with wheels attached to it, so it is a little bit higher cost, but it has some fun options. So it has a water level monitor, so you can visually see if you know you have to refill it. And this one comes standard with 16 of the same ports that are in the Flex, but 16 smaller ports for baby greens, herbs, strawberries, etc. So this one comes with a total of 32 different ports that you can grow plants, where the Tower Garden Flex will come with 20. The biggest difference I say is that if you want to grow a lot of vine things like eggplant, tomatoes, cucumbers, etc., I would recommend the Flex because you could add a cage to that garden. I believe Courtney had a cage on hers in the beginning. So, and that gives a lot of great support for those tomatoes and things. The Home does not, you're not able to add a cage to that. I mean, but you can put like a trellis next to it if you wanted to do that. So as far as cost, the base unit for the Flex is $620, but our company does these monthly payments. They will stretch it out over the year for you. It's a nominal, I think it's $1 a month handling fee to do that. There's no, credit check or anything. It's just an honor system where they will ship it out to you for that initial first month charge. And accessories can be added for a small monthly cost. Now, the Tower Garden Home, the base unit with the lights is $970 or $83 per month, plus tax and shipping. Without the lights, it's $670 or $55.83 a month. And, tax is added onto that. So those are the two compared. So why own a Tower Garden? So I have a lot of friends that, they just like to garden, and that is totally cool. For me, that just didn't, it just didn't work. But here's a reason why tower gardening is a little bit better for the environment than traditional gardening. So traditional gardening, most use chemicals and fertilizers that are harming the earth. But with tower gardening, you're just using the all natural earth minerals that are found in the soil like nature intended. With traditional gardening, it does take up a lot of space and water, using more of our natural resources. The tower garden only uses 10% of the space, water, and nutrients of traditional gardening. So it's much better for the earth, uses less of our natural resources. It's better for your water bill. Oh, I went through that too quick. But yeah, so it's just better for the environment and it uses less of our resources. So the other reason to own a tower garden, and this is the one that I think is a no-brainer for me, is produce is expensive. Especially if you're trying to buy organic and the cleanest produce that you can. So here's just a little comparison. So I went to Publix and I purchased just 4 different items that you can grow on a tower garden. So I bought peppers, zucchini, a spring mix, and celery. So for just these 4 things, it cost me almost $17. Now you can see there, I mean, I'd probably use up that lettuce in a week, celery in a week. So this is in no way enough vegetables to feed a family of 4 for the week. But I just wanted to give you guys a little comparison. So versus if you were growing 20 different plants for a monthly payment of only around $52, then your produce is practically pennies. So if I just purchased those 4 items each week over a month, it would cost me almost $68 a month only for those 4 different plants. It's just a no-brainer. Wouldn't you want to grow more plants for less cost? And they would be more nutritious because they're vine ripened, they haven't sat in a truck, and everyday produce is not on the vine or how it's growing, it's losing nutrients. So I just like showing that comparison. So what is a tower garden worth? So this person, they did a 6-month analysis of yield and average produce costs. So over 6 months with all of these things he was growing in his garden, his yield averaged $796. So that's why, we like to say that you're going to pay for your garden in 6 months or less with the food that you are eating off of it. So just think of it like redirected spending. So instead of spending that money in the store for those different items you can see listed, like arugula, beans, bell peppers, cabbage, celery, chard, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplant, herbs, kale, lettuce, squash, tomatoes. Instead of buying those, and that's just a small example of what you can grow, instead of buying those in the store, you're growing it. So you are saving that money and redirecting it. So the tower garden is an investment that ends up paying you. So if you own one tower garden over 10 years, it'll save you around $5,000 to $12,000. 3 tower gardens over 10 years will save you $17,000 to $37,000 just in produce costs if you were growing them. But, oh, and I'll show you something fun in a minute. I thought it was this slide. This is a little bit about what I chatted about how our produce is less nutrient dense than growing it ourselves. So did you know that today's mass-produced produce packs a less nutritional punch? So some varieties have lost 5% to a whopping 40% of their nutrient content today. And we're supposed to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. So that is one of the reasons why, like Courtney and I bridge the gap in our diet with Juice Plus that I talked about in the beginning. And then we add into that what we're growing from our garden. And we only purchase things that we can't grow on our garden, which is minimal. And just so you know, it's anything that is a root vegetable or would grow on a tree or a bush. Everything else you can grow in your gardens. So the other thing is nutrition content has been declining. So in 1960, you would get, a healthy amount of iron in just 1 cup of spinach. Just 12 years ago, you would have had to have eaten 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 bowls of spinach to equal the same amount of nutrients in that cup of spinach from 1960. And that is because our soils are depleted. They're not, because of fertilizers, pesticides, there's just not as enough nutrients as there used to be. So that's why we have to eat even more produce today to make up for it. So what can I grow in a tower garden? So here are just some examples of things you can grow. So there's some amazing strawberries, tomatoes, and here's some more things. So, and some of these are Courtney's pictures. There's peppers that was on Courtney's garden, green beans. That's Courtney's daughter, Presley, with some beautiful tomatoes. This was another one of my friends. She had 3 tower gardens. This was just one day's harvest on her gardens. Isn't that crazy? She just has her own farmer's market there. Strawberries are so sweet and yummy. These are my little babies. Eggplant is just so much fun. And another reason to own a tower garden is they are just fun for the whole family. So look at that. That's Courtney's son, Parker. Look at her gorgeous garden in the back there. And they are just so fun. The kids, they love getting involved with growing, and what they grow, they want to eat. The gardens just engage their curiosity, and it helps them to gain self-confidence. And it's just a great activity for the family. And we do, if you know any teachers, we love helping teachers get them in their classroom. And we also have a great curriculum that's free. It's a free resource we can give to you that you can download. And we have lesson plans that go from pre-K up through high school that are standards based on state standards. And they're great for homeschool moms, schools. There's so much you can learn and do with the garden. And there are so many ways to share a garden. So I want you to be thinking about, like, if you are someone that is on social media or you just love sharing with your friends, something that you're excited about, it is a perfect show and tell. I will tell you. We have a lot of friends that they get a garden and then they just love sharing it and just posting their progress on social media or even just texting photos to friends. Some people they post a photo when they first set it up and then weekly, and they share what they are doing. And I'm going to share with you that if you are a person like that, you could actually get your tower garden paid for very easily. So I like to call this our show and tell program. So here's how it works. So basically, you pay $52 to have a personal account with our company. And what that does is it gets you an affiliate link that you can give to others and earn rebates back on all of the products that we have. So, and we don't only have 5 things. We just have the tower garden. We have our fruit and vegetable concentrates and amazing protein shakes and bars. So for an example, say you pay your $52 and then you purchase your garden. You're going to the next month already get back $155. So that's already a $103 profit off of your garden just for having your own account. And you don't have to, there's no quotas or minimums with that. You can just do it to get your own rebate. However, you would earn an additional at least $155 on every tower garden someone purchases through your link. And the company also offers thank you checks along the way for just sharing health and wellness. So here's an example that I've helped a lot of people do. So basically, you get your own garden, you get that $155 back. You share photos and you have only three friends that get their own garden. And that could be in 1 month, that could be over a course of a couple months. But each friend that purchases one, you are going to get $155 back. So if you just had 3, that's already going to cover the cost of your garden. You plus 3 is free. Oh, I just put that together. So you plus 3 is free. And if you do that in a certain amount of time, our company does offer those thank you checks. If you did it in 10 days, you would get $100 back, an additional $100 back. If you do it in 30 days or less, you get $50 back, which would add up to with the $720. So you get back more than the garden costs. So you can use that towards accessories or just like get your nails done, a little extra fun money. So I just love to share that because I just think that is such a no-brainer and it's very easy to do. So your garden is paid for, and cheers to growing your produce for pennies. So here is ways that we've shared with schools and in the community. This is at a local preschool that had some gardens and the teachers were using them. And then we used what they grew for, they did weekly meals, and it was just so much fun to give back to the community. Here's a school that we worked with, and they were growing some plants as well, and the kids were using it as part of their science. We also love doing it out in the community and just showing kids where food comes from and how it grows. So we taught children the importance of fruits and veggies, and then we had them do a coloring activity and plant seeds for our tower garden. So here's some tower gardens across the country. There's O'Hare Airport in Chicago, and this is a rooftop restaurant in New York City. They're using the gardens. And these are just like a little fun, we have a little fun. So tower gardens are not just for everyday people. So look at Jessica Alba. She loves to meditate in front of her gardens. And I will tell you why. It is because they make a beautiful waterfall sound, very relaxing. There's former President Clinton walking around. This is a homeless facility in California, and they use the gardens to feed the people that live there. And actually, Kobe Bryant was one of the donors for that project. But here are, with everything good, there's some challenges, right? So you also need to be aware of these challenges. So you may grow so much produce, it may start to take over your children. Look at that poor Parker there is about to get eaten alive by that shard. Shame, shame. You will never be without a salad again. So you are just going to have so much produce. If you have, this is kale from one port in that garden. And so with all that extra kale, I tell people to freeze it, throw it in your smoothies, make kale chips, give it to your neighbors. You will have all new best friends. And owning a tower garden, it can turn your children into thieves of produce. So this is my son stealing some great tomatoes there. My daughter wanting to cut those up for herself as well. And of course, is that really a problem? No, but I will tell you what is. It is this. Look out, ladies, you may never get flowers again. And this is the truth, because when you have this much kale and you display it in your home, your husband is going to think you did not need flowers. So make sure you do not display it like a bouquet. That's my word of warning. So now I'm going to stop here and have Courtney share with us her tower garden home inside her home. Are you there, Courtney?
Sorry.
Yay. Oh, you're okay.
Hi. Oh, it's already turned around. Okay.
Yay.
I had to unmute myself. Okay, so yeah, that was great, Jen. So this is the tower garden home. I'm in love with all of my tower gardens. This one's so cool because number one, it's nice and compact. I mean, this is just right in the corner of my kitchen. Like, here's my kitchen table, and it's just sitting right there. And it's just really easy. Like, all right, I'll start at the top. Like here, this is the microgreen extension kit. And I don't have any microgreens in here right now, but I just have some strawberries. I had extra strawberry plants from my other tower, so I just threw them in here. But we eat off of all of our towers every day. But this one is so convenient. It's right here. I pick lettuce off of it every single day. Whether it goes on a sandwich. Tonight we're having tacos, so I'll be pulling the lettuce off of here and chopping it up for the tacos. We had tofu lettuce wraps the other day. They were delicious. And that's why all of this looks very picked over, because we eat it. We eat it all the time. This is oregano. This is thyme. This is cilantro. I just cut a bunch of this off and put it in the fridge.
For salsa.
It's cute. Yeah. Bok choy down here, more bok choy over here. So I can't quite get back there, but it's just very easy. The lights go on in the morning and they turn off at night. And it looks like this sitting in the corner of your kitchen. So it's a lot of fun.
A nice reading light.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's really, really easy. And, Jen was talking about the money that you save at the grocery store. It's absolutely true. I was walking through the grocery store today, I decided we were going to have tacos for dinner. And I walked over to the lettuce and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to buy lettuce because it's right here. And it's
could you
always
show the
fresh.
water level monitor?
Oh, yeah. And everything tastes so much better when it comes out of the tower garden, I'll tell you. So this tower, yeah, like Jen just said, it has a water level monitor, and you can see the little markings right here that tells you how full it is. And then look in here, there it is. It just gets lower and lower, but I just filled this up yesterday and it will last a long time in being inside. And that's pretty much it. It had just turned on, so I was hoping to catch it while it was on, but it'll go on again soon. And yeah, so, for just this dinner, I don't have to buy lettuce or tomatoes. What did we have? Every single day we eat off of it, whether I'm pulling tomatoes, making them into a salad, or cutting strawberries off, or celery, broccoli, whatever. It's just super convenient. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept doing it for 8 years. But you can see it's a lot of fun, and it is very therapeutic. Right, Jen?
Yeah,
don't you think?
And listen to that. And just looking at, just the excitement. The thing I love the most is when you're growing one, you have little surprises every day. You're like, oh, there's a baby pepper. Oh, look, this, and it's like that for the kids too. Like if you have kids or nieces or nephews or grandchildren that'll come over, or friends with kids, everybody loves, it's just so cool to look at, and you could be the talk of your friends.
Yeah. Or if you
Thank
even
you.
have the pets too, because my daughter has a bunny, and so the bunny eats off of the tower garden as well.
Aw, that's so cute.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
we have bunnies across the street that just are part of the lake there. And like whenever I have a little extra, we walk across and we feed them. And
Oh,
it's
how
so
cute.
cute. Yeah, they'll come out and eat but yeah, no, that's a good idea too. It's for pets as well.
It's for pets as well.
Yes. So thank you so much, Courtney. And thank you, everybody, that joined us for this call. Again, if you have any questions, just go back to the person that invited you and they'd be happy to give you more information. Once again, my name is Jennifer Caponi, and I'm so glad that you're here. Have a great night.